sometime, y'all, despite the issue, despite what we wear, despite where we're from, despite what we bring to the table, you've got to remind people who you are. She was not just a regular girl. She wasn't just a basic girl, y'all. She was a girl who knew her worth because she knew where she was from. Oh, let me talk to this side here. She knew where she was from, and she said, I don't care if you call me a slave. That doesn't mean that's not where I'm from, y'all. She said, I might be a slave, but can y'all just help me say, but I still know God? Her issue did not remove her from her history. And sometimes, my brothers and sisters, we want our issues to be covered up. We want our history to be covered up. We don't want people to know where we came from. I don't want you to know I grew up on that street. I don't want you to know that I know where East 14th is. My church is on East 14th. I don't want you to know. Let me tell you something. When God decides to use you, he doesn't care if you're red, yellow, black, or white. All of God's children are precious in his sight. And this Israelite girl said, I know you captured me and you think it's over because I'm just a slave girl. But let me tell you what's going on in this house. I'm a slave and you think I'm just going to serve you, but let me tell you what's really about to happen. I'm going to connect you to some serious power. My brothers and sisters, don't allow where you are to disconnect you from the power that God has placed in your life. I feel like talking to somebody up in here. Do not allow what you go through to keep you from where God is taking you. Don't allow how they treat you to keep you from what God is calling you to do. Sometime God will use that negative, my brothers and sisters, to set you up to be the blessing. You think the blessing is for you? No, you should ask yourself, am I the blessing? I've got to get out of here. You've got to ask yourself, God, if I'm not about to be blessed, maybe I'm the one who should be doing the blessing. Yeah. You've got to change how you talk about yourself. I'm not somebody's problem. I'm the answer to that problem. I'm not a slave girl. I'm a girl who knows who Jesus is. Feel like talking to somebody in here this morning. Don't go back to your job the same way. You're not a problem. You're creating the answer. Sometimes God places you in places and spaces, not for you, but for others to know who you are. I've got to get out of here, y'all. She tells her mistress, I just want him to know where I come from. Naaman had captured many things while he was a warrior. It was what they did. Once they won, once they took it over, it was their thing to say, cool, go back in there and see what you can find. Gold, silver, money, all the good things. The Jordans, the ones, the same ones that we had when I was in high school, but they came out with a different color that they just made last year. Ain't nothing changed about them, except the price has been inflated. Ain't nothing wrong with, I love Jordan. I love him as a person, but I ain't about to buy no shoe that I had when I was in high school just because you put it in a different color. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about nobody that has them on right now. I'm just jealous. My wardrobe is a whole lot more basic these days. They would go and capture those things that they thought that they needed. They said, if I capture the money, we'll be all right. If I capture the gold, I'll be all right. Bring that slave girl because I need somebody to serve me while I've captured all this stuff. They bring that slave girl back in there. I can just hear her in my Holy Ghost imagination saying, they just don't know. You better recognize who is up in this house. You have to recognize, y'all, that God does not bring you to something without making you the reason he did it. Oh, you didn't know God is going to use you even in the negative? Okay, y'all don't believe me here. Let me talk to you about how Joseph was out in Egypt, y'all. Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers and later falsely imprisoned in Egypt. Despite all the hardship that he had, he eventually rose to become the second in command under Pharaoh. His captivity allowed him to serve Egypt and his family, even from the famine, showing what God could do even through adversity. I don't hear nobody in here. It was even Daniel who was in Babylon, my brothers and sisters, whose friends were taken into captivity in Babylon. They remained faithful to God even despite the challenges. Daniel's wisdom became available to interpret the dreams, and it elevated him to be in a position of influence. Even though he was in a position of a palace, he allowed him to be faithful even through exile. You have to understand that when God brings you to something, you are the answer. I feel like talking to somebody in here, up in here. Sometime God will even hide you, my brothers and sisters. He will hide you in plain sight. He will sit you in the middle of the congregation. Am I talking to somebody that's in the house today? You saying, Pastor, I was hoping somebody would see me. Sometimes God ain't after you to be seen. He wants you to serve. I didn't mean to start no mess. But sometimes God is looking for the person who's not trying to get their name called. God, I just want to be a doorkeeper. I just want to serve the Lord with gladness. I just want to come before his presence with singing. I just want to enter into his gates with thanksgiving. Sometimes it's not about what you get, but it's about what you get to do. Can't nobody be the best blesser but God. We looking for this reward from people. People can't repay you like God can. And if I'm living my life for a reward that is just down here, if I'm living my life for something I can see, if I'm living my life for something I can hold, if I'm living my life for something I can build down here, don't you know that's the wrong? I want to quote it. It says, build your hopes on things hold to God's I feel like singing up in here. Y'all, sometimes you have to reassess where God has you. What this causes you to do is look at how you pray. Okay, let me keep moving here. Some of us pray to get out. God, get me out of here. I'm a slave in captivity. Get me out of this office. Ain't nobody saved but me. All these people cussing around me. They don't treat me right. They keep stealing my food. God, get me out of here. And he's like, God, why aren't you listening to me? God says, I hear your prayer, but that's not the prayer you should be praying. All right, let me keep moving here. The prayer that you should pray is the prayer that gives you faith over your fear. Because what your prayer is saying is, God, while I'm serving in this office where don't nobody treat me right, I feel like talking to somebody up in here. While I'm serving in this place where they don't even know who I am, while I am serving here where they keep stealing my food and treating me wrong, God, give me the grace to learn how to love them. Yeah, give me the grace to learn how to say, listen, I know you're hungry. Can I buy you lunch today? Bible says, with loving kindness, not have I pushed you away. With loving kindness have I drawn thee. This slave girl didn't have to be kind to her master. Oh, that showed my age. She could have kept all of the good for herself. She didn't have to open her mouth. She could have kept her mouth closed the whole time. And guess what? That would have been her prerogative. She could have been quiet. She didn't have to tell nobody who she knew. She could have said, you captured me, it is what it is. I ain't got to tell you nothing. Why she always got an attitude? You the one who stole me. Make it make sense. What is you talking about? No, she had the faith that said, even when I feel like I should sit down, God, I need you to rise up on the inside of me. I need you to give me the faith that says, God, even when it's raining outside, I feel like talking to somebody in here, even when it don't look like it's supposed to work out, I need to know that Jeremiah 29:11 still makes sense here. I need to know that because I am where I am, God still sees me. And not only does he see me, but I need to know that God still has my back. Like talking to somebody in here that needs to be reminded that Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the thoughts I think towards you. This ain't even what I'm looking at. These are the thoughts I'm thinking about. Oh, y'all missed it. This is the stuff that I'm thinking about. The stuff that you qualify for that you don't even know. God says, I'm thinking about you even before it happens. This is how highly I think of you. This is how highly I think of you. I think that everything's going to work out in your favor. I think that you're going to be all right. I know that all things work together, but I need you to recognize that you're not there to die. You're there so they could have life.